Sword Art Online was a total game changer when it first aired in 2012. Back in the early 2010s, most sci-fi anime felt pretty similar. But then SAO came along, offering something fresh and exciting for kids, teens, and young adults. This was at a time when handheld gadgets were still a new thing. Who could have guessed back then that we'd be so hooked? Today, let's talk about something super cool, the possibility of making Sword Art Online real. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could experience virtual worlds just like in SAO? Now that it's been nearly a decade since the show started, don't you think it's time we see SAO-like simulations becoming part of our reality? Despite all the awesome research and cool scientific developments, it seemed impossible for a Sword Art Online-like game to become real in our lifetime or even in our great-grandchildren's time. But don't lose hope. Yes, you might be wondering, what about full dive technology? Full dive, which lets you dive completely into a virtual world, could be possible by then if tech companies push the boundaries of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and avatar projects. So, what about full dive technology? Could we really experience a VMMO RPG like in Sword Art Online? Yes, it's possible in the long run, but it's going to be a long journey. Imagine chasing the holy grail of VR. That's what it's like because it requires decades of hard work and scientific breakthroughs. But the goal of making Sword Art Online a reality is getting closer every day. So, are you ready for a fun science lesson on this? First up is quantum computing. Quantum computers use qubits to solve really complex problems that traditional computers can't handle. They store enormous amounts of data and can revolutionize computing power. To make full dive happen, we need quantum computing to power through the tasks that connect human brains to virtual worlds. Thanks to fiber optic cables and 4G and 5G internet, we can stream videos and watch as many anime shows as we want. If we can apply this super fast internet to cyborgs, imagine how effective and efficient AI and ML could be. A VMMO RPG would run smoothly, with less signal interference. But there's one scientific breakthrough that has been researched since the 1970s. It's brain interfacing. It's not just about planting chips in brains, it's about enabling visual and tactile experiences through full dive. However, this technology is currently restricted by the government, and there are legal and commercial hurdles to overcome. But maybe one day we'll see these restrictions lifted. To fully experience a VR world like SAO, our brains need to be plugged into a device that can read our brain cells. This isn't just putting on a helmet, it's more like neurosurgery. These devices, known as microelectrode arrays, actually invade your brain cells. To fully immerse in VR, your nervous system needs to go into inactivity mode. This means your muscles would become numb and you wouldn't feel anything. You can't feel the floor, your fingers are lifeless, and you're completely cut off from reality. Your body is basically in sleep mode while your mind is in a dreamlike VR world. That's a lot to give up for an adventure. You might wonder, why can't we have SAO themed VR now? It's because it takes decades for science and technology to catch up. Since SAO aired in 2012, we've seen some cool VR helmets and apps, but we're still far away from the full dive experience. Think about it, the prototypes of today's VR headsets started in the 1960s. It's a slow process, but we're getting there. But what about EEGs? EEGs, or electroencephalographs, are helmets that record brainwave patterns. They can't produce sensations, but they're used widely in medicine to detect brain activity, especially for conditions like seizures. Can EEGs be used in VR? Researchers are exploring this. EEGs might help us experience VR in a more immersive way by reading our brainwaves and adjusting the VR environment accordingly. It's like playing a VR game where the game adjusts based on your emotions and concentration levels. But there's a catch. Current laws prevent these devices from invading our brain cells completely. So, while EEGs can enhance our VR experience, they can't just give us the full dive experience just yet. EEGs are great for medical use because they're safe and non-invasive. They help patients with rehabilitation by allowing them to relearn basic movements in a virtual environment. However, for gamers wanting the full dive experience, EEGs fall short. They can't send electricity to the brain to make you feel real sensations or control your movements. Plus, there are ethical concerns about how far we should go in merging technology with our brains. Remember Akihiko Kayaba from SAO? He controlled the game and players couldn't log out. That kind of control in real life is dangerous. Ever played a game and felt like the characters were almost too smart? Like they were real people? That is AI at work. Non-playable characters in games are becoming more intelligent thanks to machine learning. Imagine a game where the enemy doesn't just follow a set pattern, but actually learns from your moves. Think of Sword Art Online. Could that be our future? VR is really changing the way we play. Games like Half-Life: Alyx are bringing us closer to experiencing a fully immersive world. You put on those VR goggles and suddenly you're trekking through a desert or exploring space. Our brains might still know we're in a room, but it feels real enough to trick us into believing we're somewhere else entirely. Now, AI isn't perfect. Have you ever come across a photo of a person who doesn't actually exist? That's AI-generated content, and it's a bit creepy. Websites like "This person does not exist" can create fake photos that look super real. It's fascinating, but also a bit unsettling. Talking to your virtual assistant can be fun, but they lack the human touch. This can also be said for the latest sensation, ChatGPT. Robots might follow commands, but they can't really understand how you feel. It's like talking to a really smart but emotionless machine. But SAO pulls you in and doesn't let go. The same goes for AR and VR. They create worlds so fascinating that you want to stay in them forever. In Sword Art Online, Akihiko Kayaba created the Nerve Gear, a gaming console that trapped players in a virtual world. Now, think about modern VR games and gadgets. Aren't they kind of doing the same thing? We get so wrapped up in these virtual worlds that it's hard to pull away. Why do we love VR so much? It's simple, it lets us escape. From gacha games to mobile RPGs, these technologies draw us in. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to dive into a world where anything is possible? It's pure magic. Over time, AR and VR have taken on many names: artificial reality, cyberspace, holographic reality, and even make-believe. Whatever you call it, the result is the same. We get hooked. It's like throwing away the key to a magical kingdom where you can live out your wildest dreams. Would you ever want to leave such a place? The truth is, these technologies provide a much-needed break from real life. They offer a chance to be someone else, somewhere else, even if it's just for a little while. That's why scientists and developers keep pushing the boundaries, creating more immersive and exciting experiences. But these AI advancements are not just about making smart assistants or chatbots. AI is now capable of creating highly realistic virtual environments and characters that can interact with us in ways that feel natural and engaging. Pair this with the latest in VR technology, and we're looking at a future where virtual worlds could be indistinguishable from the real one. VR developers are working tirelessly to create experiences that are not just virtually stunning, but also deeply interactive. In SAO, the story takes a dark turn when players become trapped in the game, unable to log out. It's a thrilling plot for an anime, but what if something similar happened in real life? With the rapid pace of VR and AI development, we have to consider the potential risks. Could we actually create a situation where people might get so immersed in a virtual world that they lose touch with reality? Or worse, could there be a scenario where someone could be trapped in a VR environment against their will? It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of new technology, but we should also remember the lessons from stories like SAO. While the idea of fully immersive virtual worlds is incredibly appealing, we need to think about safety and ethical considerations. How can we ensure that these technologies are used responsibly? What measures can we put in place to prevent potential disasters? Now, in 2016, Palmer Luckey, the creator of the Oculus headset, embraced his inner Akihito Kayaba and revealed that he had created a headset with functions similar to the Nerve Gear from Sword Art Online. And all of you guys know that it's a VR device that will kill the user if they die in a video game. Luckey shared a link to his website announcing the release of the OQPN-V. On the outside, it looks like your typical Oculus headset. But there's a terrifying twist. This device can kill you in real life if you die in the virtual world. While the headgear doesn't look exactly like the one from Sword Art Online, Luckey promises that users will have a similar experience. According to his website, the device isn't finished and is currently halfway through development. Here's the creepy part: Luckey has only figured out the part where it kills the user. That's right. This headset isn't capable of full virtual immersion yet, nor can it play video games. In addition, Luckey had to change the process of the headset killing the user since he couldn't replicate the methods from the anime. He's also ironing out the details to ensure no one could tamper with the system to cheat death. He's aware the headset might trigger the user's death at the wrong time and is working on solutions to prevent that. While anime fans might be thrilled to live out one of the greatest video game isekai fantasies in real life, others are downright terrified. Despite the excitement, it's highly unlikely that this device will ever hit the market. Luckey mentioned that the device is currently a piece of office art and that he hasn't ever tested it due to his own fears. However, he warns that this isn't going to be the last VR headset that could kill its user. The future of VR and AI holds endless possibilities. We might soon see virtual worlds that rival those in our favorite sci-fi stories. But as we race towards this exciting future, let's make sure we're also thinking about the potential pitfalls. By balancing innovation with caution, we can enjoy the incredible benefits of these technologies while avoiding the kinds of disasters that make for a thrilling anime plot, but would be terrifying in real life. So, as we look forward to a future where something like SAO could become a reality, let's embrace the excitement while also staying mindful of the risks. With the right precautions, we can create amazing virtual experiences that are not only fun and engaging, but also safe and ethical. Who knows what incredible adventures await us in the world of VR and AI? One thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting ride.